They never actually said the word gay, and that's what made it worse. Because from the first week we moved in, me, broad-shouldered, bearded, built like I lift anger for reps. And him, slim, quiet, gentle, the kind of guy people overlook until they need someone strong. In a different way you could feel the judgment, hanging in the air like humidity. Smiles that didn't reach eyes, neighbors who waved but never stopped walking. And the HOA emails started out innocent enough. Just a reminder, friendly notice. Community standards update, but somehow every reminder landed in our inbox and never anyone else's. And it was always something vague, like our presence during evening walks, or how our patio energy felt different, which is a wild thing to say about two men quietly drinking coffee after work. And I remember laughing it off at first because if you don't laugh, you break. But my boyfriend noticed patterns before I did. How straight couples could argue loudly in driveways without consequence, while we got written up for disturbing harmony, for existing too confidently. And the inspections began, unannounced, nitpicky, measuring grass blades like they were trying to find sin in soil. And every time I wanted to explode, to give them the aggressive version of me they clearly expected, he'd ground me with that calm voice, reminding me that bullies love reactions and fear receipts. And that fear showed when the HOA president clipboard glued to her chest like a badge of righteousness started circling our house more often, pretending to check numbers while staring too long. And still, never once did she say the word gay, because people like that think silence makes them clever. But everyone knew, especially when the comments shifted to family values and traditional atmosphere, phrases weaponized so often they should come with warning labels. And the moment I realized we weren't paranoid was when a neighbor pulled us aside and whispered, "They don't like that you're visible," like being seen was a violation in itself. And things escalated fast after that. Fines for things that weren't in the bylaws, warnings based on complaints that couldn't be traced, and a meeting announcement marked mandatory, which is HOA speak for we're about to try something bold. And when we walked into that room together, me filling space whether I wanted to or not, him steady at my side, chin high, the temperature changed, conversations stopped, eyes followed us, and Karen launched into a speech so carefully worded it could have been written by a lawyer afraid of daylight, talking about community comfort and compatibility. Until someone finally asked the question everyone was thinking, "Are you saying they don't belong here?" And the pause that followed was loud, because that's the moment subtlety dies. And she stumbled, denied it, said that wasn't what she meant, but intent doesn't matter when impact is obvious. And one by one neighbors spoke up, some hesitant, some angry, some embarrassed they hadn't sooner, and stories spilled out about selective enforcement, about how rules only seem to matter when applied to us. And I watched power drain from Karen's posture as control slipped, because bullies thrive in quiet, not scrutiny. And then my boyfriend stood up, hands shaking just slightly, voice calm but firm, and explained what it feels like to be targeted without being named, to be told you're a problem without ever being accused, how exhausting it is to live under constant evaluation. And I swear the room changed, because vulnerability doesn't roar, but it resonates. And people listened, really listened, and when he finished, the applause wasn't thunderous, but it was real. And that's when I knew the fight was over, even if the paperwork wasn't, because days later, the fines vanished, the emails stopped, inspections ceased, like they'd never existed. And at the next meeting, Karen resigned for personal reasons, which is HOA code for, I got caught. And walking home that night past neighbors who now smiled openly, waved, invited us over, I realized something that still makes me smile. They never said gay, but everyone knew why we were targeted, and once everyone knew, it stopped working, because discrimination survives in implication. Not daylight, and we didn't win by yelling or leaving or becoming smaller. We won by staying visible together exactly as we are. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a place that wants you quiet is simply refuse to disappear.